offices, jump out of that office chair, leave that computer behind, step out of that meeting and join us at the Eden Heights Sports Complex at Wager. Let's work out together. Let's shake some fat off. And of course, let's compete healthily at the Citi Business Olympics. It's happening on the 24th of September at the Eden Heights Sports Complex. Listen, if you haven't called to register yet, you are doing yourself a lot of harm. All right? Call the numbers on your screens and register to participate in the 2022 Citi Business Olympics. There's going to be 7-a-side soccer. There's going to be basketball. There's going to be lawn tennis. There's going to be table tennis, sack race, lime and spoon race, oware, ludo. And of course, we get to crown the ultimate CEO of the year. Listen, it is fun, it is exciting, it is refreshing, and at the end of the day, you feel so relieved. And you go back to work more poised, more geared up, for more fruitful endeavors, even as we enter, or we are in the last quarter of the year 2022. So call and register now. Citi Business Olympics happening on the 24th of September at Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. We want to see you there, and so make that call now. But don't go and buy any foreign players. So we'll check for age and company staff ID. You understand? All right. Let's take you to the newspapers now. The front page of the Daily Graphic has some interesting stories there. And I start off with a major story, of course, that says, encroachers damage aviation installations. GCAA, which is the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, loses cables, signal equipment under threat. Wow, that's some serious, and we beg for the authorities to move in there and act swiftly. Chief of Staff lauds policewomen for professionalism. Jata Cement calls for VAT waiver on raw materials. Back page, Daniel Amate, Black Stars defensive pillar. Looks like there's a special on Daniel Amate on the back page of the Daily Graphic. So yeah, you'd want to grab a copy to get the info on that story. The Daily Guide newspaper says NDC boils over a hotel project. Comes with a picture of Dr. Kwabna Dufour and Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the General Secretary of the NDC. Agenda 111, vaccine production, my key agenda. There's this President Akufo-Addo speaking there. Jinaport touts Ghana's green metals. 2 bank robbers nabbed. Health Minister discharged in a Tuforsen trial. Let's move into the Custodian newspaper. Lands Minister promotes Ghana's mining sector abroad. Haruna tightens grip on Northern Region NDC. Akufo-Addo tours Central Region today. NHIA partners for Premier League clubs. GHS targets 400,000 polio jabs in Northern Region. That's the Custodian newspaper. The new weekend crusading guide, I beg your pardon, the new weekend crusading guide. I'm baffled at Cassius Mining's legal threats. Case already in arbitration. Mineral Commission probes. This is the Lands Minister Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor speaking. Aegis report must incorporate findings, recommendations of PAC. John Kumar stressing here. Borders of Nungwastu lands outlined as Chief of Staff cautions encroachers. Agenda 111, local vaccine production, are 2 important consequences of COVID-19 for Ghana. This is Akufo-Addo speaking. Agenda 111, local vaccine production, are 2 important consequences of COVID-19 for Ghana. That's President Akufo-Addo there. The Chronicle newspaper, DCE expresses concern as seized Galamsey excavators vanish from police custody. DCE expresses concern as seized Galamsey excavators vanish from police custody. You can find those stories on pages 2, 3, and 8 of the Chronicle newspaper. Jinapor woos Australian investors into mining sector, says our stable democracy will safeguard their investment. Confusion in Christian Divine Church over sacking of trustees. Klagon chief charged over murder of close confidant. Yeah, so you get the details there in the Chronicle newspaper. But, I mean, there's a scripture for the day, and this should guide us going into the weekend. It's taken from the book of Psalms, chapter 146, verse 3. Do not trust in princes, in mortal men, in whom there is no salvation. Do not trust in princes, in mortal men, in whom there is no salvation. The Inquisitor, butterflies in stomachs, general cleaning at GRA in search of debt against Colonel Damwa. Security alert, Gomwa Ekwam Krom on time bomb over chieftaincy issues. Commissioning of Dichemso AstroTurf postponed. Lands Minister assures of greater transparency in mining sector. All these and more in the Inquisitor newspaper. ABC News, President Akufo-Addo storms Central Region, set to commission 2 factories. President Akufo-Addo storms Central Region, set to commission 2 factories. Now the President begins a 2-day working visit to the Central Region today. You would want to stay tuned to Citi TV. We will be bringing you a live coverage of that tour. Now, pound in biggest monthly fall against the dollar since 2016. There's an editorial in there that says give Auditor General room to operate. And let's seek NPP's interest first. This is the chairman of the party, Stephen Intim, speaking to party members there. The Finder newspaper, 14 million do not have health insurance. 14 million do not have health insurance. Food insecurity declines 7%. Unemployment up 0.5%. And this is according to the Statistical Service. Has a picture of Professor Samuel Kobnen in there. Jinapo assures investors of greater transparency in mining sector. Zipline contracted to deliver junior items in West Africa, and salary arrears of Farm D house officers, pharmacy doctor house officers to be paid. This is President Akufo-Addo speaking there. Finally, that's the Republic Press. Dufour calls mosquitoes bluff. Set stage for showdown in NDC. 380,000 Ghanaians are poor. 380,000 Ghanaians are poor. And this clearly is attributed to that survey by the Ghana Statistical Service. Franklin Kujo mocks Akufo-Addo. GBC investigates $600,000 judgment debt paid to Media General. Utility tariffs increment takes effect. I put my life on the line for Akufo-Addo to become president, and he betrayed me. This is according to Reverend Owusu Bempa. You want to get the details of all these interesting stories and more from the various dailies. So walk to a newsstand nearby and grab a copy. But stay with us here on Breakfast Daily. We have more coming your way.